What's good, More Purpose family, and welcome to Balcony Conversations. Yes, sir. We have a new segment. Baby.
Glad to be here.
Hey, come on now. So, for those that don't know, we have moved into an apartment. You know what I'm saying? We moved into an apartment, and we always wanted to have a balcony as like a living space to chill, talk. You know what I'm saying? Have a little vibe. You feel me? So today we're going to basically try to implement that vibe into having a more just one-on-one talk. Me and my brother for real, and we're going to really dive into what it's been like since us moving in 6 months ago.
Yeah. This gonna be this balcony conversation is gonna be like the barbershop. You know, in the barbershop, y'all talk about everything, transparent, so be safe space. And we just talk about like this is our journey in becoming young men. So yeah, we here, and it's no schedule. It ain't no words. We don't got nothing like that. No script. We just here.
Just want to chat it up with y'all, man. So lay y'all into like a step closer into our personal life, I guess, of our experience so far. But we moved in January, bro. 6 months has flew by that fast. We're in July now. Like, are you kidding me?
Wild,
like, this is insane. Yeah. How has your experience been like since moving out? Did you even want to move out? Like,
honestly, I mean, of course, I wanted to move out. I didn't think I was gonna move out that soon.
Yeah.
He was forcing me out. Honestly, he was forcing me out. I didn't think I was ready to move out yet right away. But it's been a crazy experience. I feel like. For one, I'm grateful that we're in our own space.
For sure.
It's been a different experience, an uncomfortable experience, but it's been good nevertheless. Yeah.
Nah, it's definitely been uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And he's not wrong about me forcing to move out, because when God was telling me about me moving out, God put Marlon in my heart and was like, yo, take your brother with you. So I had to do some convincing, you know what I'm saying? Some convincing and everything. And I was like, come on, Marlon, like, we can do it, bro. Like, imagine what we can do if we live together and everything, like the content, everything.
And so with me and him, because our personality types are different, it's kind of crazy because because I am a thinker, because I use my mind for a lot of stuff, and I feel like God has gifted me there, wisdom and different things like that. Sometimes I can be a little too calculated. So I'm talking to you, I'm like, I'm not ready. I want to wait until I get certain, like, I want to be able to be good. Like, I want to get some stuff in the road. Where CL is like big on faith. He's like, listen, we'll figure it out when we get there. He's like, yo, forget that. Like, let's just go ahead and move in. That's literally our conversation. He was like, bro, let's just move in. Let's take that leap of faith. Maybe that's gonna make us work hard because we can pay the bills. Like,
Facts.
The bills gotta get paid.
Facts.
And we had some. Listen, as of recently, we had some crazy conversations where we was like, hey, listen. Hey,
let me tell y'all something.
Something gotta get done.
Something gotta give, boy.
Something gotta give. So yeah, it's crazy to see how we're opposites in that area, but he increases my faith as well. So yeah.
And Marlon increases my willingness to be more calculated, because like he said, I'm very more spontaneous, more so jump out the plane and we're gonna figure out if God's gonna be the parachute, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna go from there. But I think that blends us perfectly, and that's the reason why God has allowed us to be able to have the success that we've had and just the bond that we have, because we carry each other where we're weak at and we lead where we're both strong.
And I love that you say that, because I think that people of high faith, and this does not mean I don't have high faith. I think certain people have the gift of faith.
Yeah.
Right. As Christians, we should all have faith. But I think as people with high faith and the gift of faith, it balances out to have somebody of wisdom. It's nothing wrong with having high faith, but you want to be like, okay, wait, before we jump out and do this, it doesn't mean that you're scared or anything like that, but you want to make sure that, okay, let's make sure we know what will happen when we do this. And on the other side of that is somebody with wisdom. You need somebody on the other end that has faith, so that you are not too calculated to where you paralyze yourself, where you just don't make no decisions. So you get somebody, you pair yourself up with somebody like CL, who has that gift of faith, and now you have somebody that's like, yo, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
You already dodged your eyes, cross your T's, now make a move.
Facts.
So it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see.
I think it's definitely a beautiful blend, bro. And I think that's why God has just graced us with everything we've been able to do, because we both have the best of both worlds in a way.
Definitely.
Because there's definitely some times where my faith can get a little crazy, and Mom be like, hold on, let's come down a little bit.
It sounds good. Let's slow it down.
Let's come down just a tad bit, baby. But I definitely believe that these next 6 months, even though these first 6 months have been a journey, let me tell you something, an insane journey. Let me tell you, first of all, time out real quick. Mom, Dad, why y'all ain't tell us how much groceries cost?
Y'all ain't tell us.
I'm so used to us being able to go to the store. Me and Mom used to go to Walmart, Target, Toys R Us, pick up Nerf guns, video games, everything. Hold on.
But I want to play devil's advocate, because they did tell us.
They did.
As a kid, though, you just don't listen. You don't hear that.
One ear out the other.
You don't hear it until it's your turn. Then you look back. You sit on the balcony like this. You be like, I see what they was talking about. Because now it's flashing back. I remember when my mom would be like, turn the lights off. Like I remember when we would go to the grocery store on Sundays, like every day. Like I remember this stuff. I remember when she said, don't let the dishes pile up.
Mm-hmm.
I done seen my sink a couple times. I'm like,
bro, what?
When did this get
here? Like how? That fast? Like what's going on? Bro, I remember when she'd be like, yo, it's food at the house. No, ma, I want Chick-fil-A. No, it's food at the crib. Like
you don't know until you look back on hindsight. Bro, Mom and Dad, we love y'all. We appreciate you.
Thank y'all so much for
forgive us.
Please.
Forgive us because we were not grateful.
We took it for granted. I'm not gonna lie to you. We took it for granted.
I didn't see socks on the floor and I wanted to yell around like, whose socks are these? Like it's mine. It's yours. You don't got nobody to blame.
Bro, who water bottle is this?
Yeah, no, it's you.
Who didn't drink? Oh.
Look, we used to be
can't yell at nobody but yourself, baby.
We used to be at the crib and my mom would trip out over these Capri Sun wrappers on the floor. You remember that?
Yes.
Who's Capri Sun wrappers on the floor? Nowadays, it's just us two in the house. And it's like, if
ain't nobody to blame.
If it's on one side, I know it's me.
Yeah.
It's my bedroom. I ain't got nobody to blame.
Like, how did my room get so messy? I can't blame Marlon no more. You know what I'm saying?
And that's one of the things I want to talk about is what we learned from moving out and the things that we wish we knew before we left home. So let's start with you. What are some of the things that you have learned and some of the things that you've learned about yourself or just in general?
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. The first thing I learned when we moved out, how much freedom you really have as an adult. Like, the amount of freedom I feel like is sometimes overwhelming because it's like, yo, if I don't have nothing to do, I feel like that can also paralyze you to be like, dang, there's really nothing to do.
Yeah.
But like sit here, but then the other side of it is like, yo, I can really be out as much as I want to.
Yeah.
And as a Christian, that kind of like plays against your mind a little bit because it's like, yo, I can stay out late now.
Yeah.
I'm my own man. I can do what I want to do. But then I also can be bait at the same time to get you back into the wrong crowd, into the wrong environments, or put you at the wrong place at the wrong time to where anything bad can happen. So it's been more of like a learning lesson as far as like the discernment and wisdom thing because now that we live in this, we're not even on the outskirts anymore. We live in a city and we're living in the aspect of where there's always something going on, especially around where we live at. It's like, yo, we have to be on our P's and Q's at all times, have to be on the swivel constantly because if you go somewhere or if you make the wrong decision at the wrong time, that can end into a bad way or into you falling into your flesh. So I believe that's one of the biggest things I've learned so far is just more so the discernment of when to leave the house, when not to leave the house, when to stay in the crib, when to not buy food, when to buy food, all those different things, and just learn how to be an adult and to steward. Because as of right now, these first 6 months, I can be honest, these first 6 months, I don't think I stewarded correctly yet. No, but I also understand I understand it's a growing and learning experience because it's our first time both moving out. You know what I'm saying? We both still young. Bro, I'm 24, he's 23. Like, we're young as mess. We just turned 24, just 23 like 2 months ago. So it's crazy to think about, but I believe that God's gracing us to learn all these experiences now because of where He's about to transition us within the next year. I feel like everything's going to continue to drastically like transition and shift very fast. And I believe that we're going through all these different things right now so that we can be able to learn from our mistakes and know how to operate when we do move to the next level.
Yeah.
So that's one of the biggest things. For sure.
I think one of the biggest things that I've learned is that, number one, I'm not as responsible as I think I am.
Oh, that's definitely number one.
Like, everybody's always on their high horse. Like, I'm responsible. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to do that. And not that I say those things out of my mouth, but I just always felt like, I'll be good. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'll be good moving out. Like, and I'm not even talking about just finances. I'm just talking about in general, simple things as keeping your room clean.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about that type of stuff, the bare minimum type of stuff. And I'm not as responsible as I think I am. When you move into your own space, it's like I said, you have nobody to blame. So it's like when you see stuff getting dirty around the house, you're like, yo, what have I been doing?
Yeah.
So I do see that there's a lot of growth to be done in that area. And then one of the biggest things, this really is the biggest thing, is that I want to go back to the first thing you said, is that having your own crib makes you have so much time. You have so much time in your hands. It's just us two in the house. Whereas when we were with our dad, we have family in the house. So there's always somebody in the house. We're talking. This conversation right here. We're playing a game. It's so much stuff. But we have so much free time. And I think with that free time, I've had more time to sit with myself than I ever have. And as a result of me sitting with myself, I've learned so much about myself.
Bro, when I tell you,
bad and good.
When I tell you, that's like been one of like the hardest things of realizing, like, not in a bad way, but realizing how ugly I really am. Like, not in a physical way, but just the character, just the little character flaws that I wasn't able to see until I was able to be by myself. To be able to sit in God's presence and be like, yo, that's not Christ-like, or hey, that thought process is not the thought process you need to have, or how you respond to that. Like, cause nobody can say nothing to you until you actually sit there in your thought process. Like, bro, how did I handle that situation?
Feel me?
And it made me realize, like, yo, you have a lot to grow on, bro. Like, very, like, that drink really, like, sobered me up a little bit. It was like, yo, you're not as mature as you think you are.
Yeah.
Like you're still childish a little bit. You're still young, so I need you to like
so much stuff to
a
take.
lot,
Yeah.
a lot more to learn.
Yeah.
So it's definitely been a journey of that and a lot of self-reflection. I feel like living on your own allows you to have that time to have self-awareness, self-reflection, and to be honest with yourself about different things that you're feeling. And we're both in therapy now as well.
Yeah,
And that's come on now. We're both in therapy now.
Since moving in, we both have been in therapy.
That's been crazy.
You can talk about how that's been too.
Let me tell you something. My therapy sessions, our therapist has been reading me like a book. Like yo, like who told you that? Like that type vibe.
Yeah.
And it's been real eye opener as far as like, for those that don't know, I might be the king of people pleasing, the king of it. And she has been helping me really learn how to put myself first in a lot of situations, but also learn how to put myself first in the way that God would like me to put myself first, which is putting Him first. So me putting Christ first allows me to be able to put myself first, which allows me to be fruitful to those that's around me that I'm actually called and I'm assigned to.
Yeah.
But I can't do that if I'm always trying to people please and put my hands on or put my opinion on people's lives that God didn't ask me to put my opinion or put my help with.
Yeah.
So that's been a learning experience because it's been like a lot of restraint because I'm so used to being there for everybody. God's telling me, no, stop being there for everybody else, be there for yourself.
Yeah.
So it's been that kind of season a little bit. It's been a little weird because I'm so used to being there for everybody.
Yeah.
And I know that in this season, God I feel like He kind of is like isolating me in a way to really just focus on me and you, me and Him. And everything else gonna fall into place, you know what I'm saying? So that's been the real crazy journey of therapy because I learned that all my people pleasing and everything kind of stems from what happened in our parents' divorce and everything like that, or just past things that happened in school and all that stuff like that. So it's like, dang, like that's a lot of root like trauma that goes into things that we don't like think about unless you talk about it. So what have you learned?
Same thing. I think it's been a whole bunch of like self-evaluation. One of the biggest things is that I've been talking to my therapist about is our first few sessions. She kind of just asked me to give like a synopsis of my life. So we kind of went down our first 3 sessions. We went down the whole timeline of my life.
Facts.
From the earliest thing I can remember to middle school to high school to playing sports to graduating during COVID, how I felt about COVID, going to college, moving to New Jersey, moving back from New Jersey,
that's a lot,
to Virginia, helping take care of my granddad, and then like so on and so on and so on. And we have kind of been backtracking, and I never realized how when life goes on so fast, when stuff like more purpose, stuff like this, the movement that God has given us, when stuff like that goes by so fast and just happens so fast when you wasn't expecting it, I never realized how much stuff you sweep under the rug without knowing it, and you keep yourself busy, and it's like a coping mechanism.
Facts.
And talking to my therapist, it opened me up. It was like it pulled the Band-Aid off, where I kind of felt like Adam and Eve, like in the garden. I'm like, yo, like
I'm naked.
I'm naked right now because it got to the point where we got to our 4th session. And I was getting ready to text her and say, can we meet next week? Because I was just like, it was uncomfortable.
Yeah, because you're feeling vulnerable.
Yes, because it's vulnerable. It's like, yo, I've never talked to nobody about this. Like, I don't even remember actually, some of the stuff she asked me, I don't even remember processing.
Ever.
To where she was asking me certain questions. I'm like, honestly, I don't know how I felt.
I never thought about that.
I never thought about it. I never had that conversation. It was just, that was the normal for me.
Yeah, it is what it is.
She was like, no, that's not normal. Yeah. And I want you to be able to sit in the middle of that and wrestle with that. So I never realized how much being busy in life can kind of just it can be a distraction from you actually healing and taking care of the things that you need to take care of. So this time of being in the crib, and this time of going to therapy, and this time of being on our own, while it has not been perfect, it's been fruitful in the way of it's been a mirror. Being here has been a mirror. It's showing me my ugly side, it's showing me my good side, it's showing me my weaknesses, it's showing me my strengths, and it's crazy. It's uncomfortable, but it's good.
I love that you touched on that too, because that self-reflection aspect, she really made me realize the same thing as far as like questions that was never asked before, stuff that we never thought about. Because we are men, our go-to is to just sweep it under the rug. Facts. And you don't have time to cry about it, you don't have time to think about it. Keep working. It's about life. And then, but she also taught me as a man, because she asked me a specific question. She was like, how'd you feel about this? I was like, well, I don't really know. Like, it happened and it was over with. I put myself back to work so I couldn't think about it. She was like, so when's the last time you cried? I said, I can't tell you the last time I cried. And as a man, I was like, hold on. When was the last time I cried? I had to genuinely think about it. I was like, bro, when's the last time I actually cried? And I cannot remember that. I was like, bro, last time I cried was when Poppy passed away. How long was that? It's like 3-4 years ago. That's bad. I was like, bro, I haven't shed no tears in 4 years. And I was like, bro, that's
2-3 years.
But it's still bad. Like, that's a long time without like letting out those like emotion and everything, because as a man, we're just wired to just brush off your shoulder and everything, keep pushing. Like, ain't nothing gonna change if you cry. And it's a little toxic because I love this saying when, like, in the gym and everything, they be like, if you cry, what the baby's gonna do?
Yeah.
I love that saying in the gym, but at the same time, it's like contradicting because it's like, as a man, you should still be able to show your emotions, still be able to cry, you can still be strong while being, like, showing emotions at the same time. And I feel like that's a box I put myself into where I feel like if I show emotions, I'm weak.
I think, and that's so good you touched on that, because I think the older that I've been getting is the more I've been okay with crying.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not just like crying. That's first.
Yeah.
It ain't sweet. Like, don't get twisted. But nah, this is crazy. I ain't even tell you this. This is crazy. Now I'm talking about it. My first therapy session. Because I was so scared to go to therapy because I didn't know what to expect. I was excited because I knew I was taking a step towards my growth, and I knew that it was long overdue. The therapy session had ended. My therapist, she prayed out at the end. Yeah. She prayed out, and I got in my car. I just sat in my car, and I was like, yo, like, I just took a step. Like although I was like, bro, I just took a step. Yeah. Like, I took a step in the right direction of my growth, and I cried. Like, you feel, tears, it wasn't like I was boo-hooing, but like tears came out my eyes. I was like, dang, like, this is what it feels like to make a step in the right direction where nobody forced me to go. Like, nobody coerced me. Like, no, I wanted to do it, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? So it was like, it felt good to take a step in that direction. And if you're watching this, man or female, you know, this is your sign. And it doesn't, we recommend therapy, but just in general, whatever you have to do to heal, take that step. Because it's this content creator that I watch, and he says when you get older, nobody is coming to save you. Facts. And being at the house, that's one of the mentalities that I took on, is that, like, nobody's coming to save me. Like the holes I dig myself in, like, nobody's coming to save me. The hurt, the healing, and all the things that I need to do. And whether it was your fault or not, you now have a responsibility to heal from it. Because if you don't, you're just gonna let it handicap you. And nobody's coming to save you in that aspect. So that's something that you got to work on and take the step toward. And you owe that to yourself. You owe that to your future family. You owe that to your future spouse, future wife, future husband, your future kid. You owe that to them. You know what's crazy, bro? I'm learning from therapy. Therapy has allowed me to let down certain walls I had with God. So it's like different questions that I couldn't answer at the time. Therapy has allowed me to unlock those different emotions or that communicative style to be able to communicate it to Christ and be like, yo, all right, God, this is why I feel like I couldn't pray to you about this. Or this is why I couldn't let this wall down. Or this is why this and that. Do your language. Yeah, exactly. And it's actually let down a wall, but it has brought me closer to Christ because I finally have been able to acknowledge something or root of something that I didn't know about. Because at times I'll be in prayer, I'll be like, bro, God, why can't I say this? Or why can't I go to you about this? Or why don't I feel comfortable coming to you about this? And then therapy has allowed me to unlock the reasonings behind certain, like, things that is like a inhibitor in between me and Jesus' relationship. And I was like, that's crazy, because I encourage y'all, especially those that are young, that may have been going through a lot of trauma when they was younger and everything. I encourage y'all to go through therapy too. I feel like 2 and 2 go together, you know what I'm saying? I believe that, yes, you're supposed to open your Bible, pray to God, everything like that as well. But I also believe that therapy can help you in your walk with Christ, especially if you have a Christian therapist that understands your values, your walk, and where you're trying to go, where your purpose is on the way to. Because now you have two birds, one stone. You have the physical and you have the spiritual at the same time. It's like, all right, bet, what the mental? You have the mental and the spiritual. So it's like, yo, this is why you're the way you are. This is the cause of this. This is the root of that. And this is why you need Christ to come in and fill those voids. Because if you don't use Christ to fill in those voids, you can go to something else. And I feel like that's why I've been learning about my struggles with lust, my struggles with people pleasing, my struggles with just everything that insecurities, everything like that, all stems from a root point in time when we was younger that caused me to basically make a habit of doing this and this and becoming my character development. So like now therapy has really kind of like helped me unlearn those ways, and it's helping me to be more aware of my actions of why I do certain things. So now I'm able to provide a solution. That's very good, because as we walk back through my lifetime and my past, it showed me the cycles of something happened, I ran into this. Something happened, I did this. And it shows like over time how habits and how strongholds and different things like that are built up. And people don't see people don't realize what you struggle with is not just what you struggle with. That's the outside fruit. That's the outside fruit. So fornication is the outside fruit, right? You smoking is the outside fruit, but there's a root in your heart, whether that's rejection, whether that's bitterness, whether that's abandonment, whether that's resentment, that has led you to whatever vice, led you to whatever habit. And through a therapist, and our therapist is a Christian, we thank God for that. Through the right therapist, God can use your therapist not to, because therapists do not do the healing for you.
Facts.
Right? They can point you in the direction of healing. So I can point you to the root. Now you can go back to God with what you figured out and what was revealed in that moment, and you can pray about it. So like for me, for example, I recognize that I struggle with like the orphan spirit and feeling like I was rejected and abandoned. That's something that the enemy wanted to use to kind of get me into pornography and lust and different things like that. And you start to see how the enemy starts off so early. He starts off so early, like in your childhood. The same way Moses was rejected in his childhood.
Yeah.
Like, the same way Herod wanted to kill before Jesus was even born. He wanted to kill.
Yeah.
We get a picture of how the enemy works when people are at infant stage, because he knows that's where he can set up shop. That's where it's easiest for him to set up shop.
That's where he's planting the most seeds.
Yes, planting the most seeds, setting up strongholds. Because strongholds are just fortresses. So he's just building. 1 year old, building. Here's this root of rejection. 2 years old. Here's this orphan spirit. Here's abandonment. And by the time you get to 16, 17, 18, you don't even know who you are anymore.
Yeah.
And now you're 21, 22, 23, trying to get back to who God has called you to be.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where we're at now.
I definitely believe that's where we at. And it's crazy because I think about it right now, a lot of people are 40 plus and have never been to therapy.
Never.
That's holding on to trauma that they still trying to unpack from 40 years worth of life. And I'm thanking God that we kind of removed our pride out of the way and was able to be vulnerable enough to be like, hey, all right, yeah, we need therapy. Because my dad was trying to get some therapy for the longest. I'm not gonna lie, he was trying to get some therapy for years. But we were always like, bro, I don't need no therapist. I'm good. Like, we good. Me and mom told each other, we good. Like, we don't need no therapist. But it's when we got older and started adulting and we really was like, hold on, nah, I don't like how I did that. It's a root problem of that I can't figure out. I think I need therapy. And I'm proud of us for actually taking that step, because that's a big step for both of us, and just for who we are and where we want to go, but also for what we're called to do as far as our purpose. I believe that for us to continue to walk in purpose, and emphasis on why our name is more purpose and everything, is because it's always more purpose. So it's always more to do. It's a new assignment. So I believe in this season we're in right now, the more purpose is in us growing individually in our unrooting, so that we can replant something new, so that we can actually learn something new, unlearn, so we can learn what God actually wants us to learn, how we're supposed to walk. Because you can walk the wrong way the whole time, but you'll believe it's right because that's the only way that you know how to walk. So now that we're unlearning, be like, oh, nah, the way that you're walking, that might not be the right path or right way to actually steward what you're doing. All right, then how can I learn the new and the right way to continue to walk in the purpose of what God has called me to do? So I believe it's definitely a crazy journey. And I believe that God's gonna continue to just like blow our minds and give us new revelations, new understanding of where we are, because I believe that we're both going through the season at the same time as well, so that we can both continue to learn off each other. Because you might learn something that I may not even know about, and vice versa, and we're able to help each other grow at the same time. And I believe that's why God made us brothers as well. Because again, where you're weak, I'm strong. Where I'm weak, you're strong. And that's really been the beautiful aspect of just us living together, because we're able to see that in real time. Like, I'm like, bro, Marlon's so disciplined. Like, this boy going to the gym every single day.
He disciplined.
I'm like, bro, he going to...
We discipline different.
I'm like, he going to the gym every single day. I'm over here playing the game in my room, looking at the ceiling.
No, I think looking at you has showed me how much I'm not a planner. Also being here, like I go in, I see his window. He got stuff on his window, and I wrote stuff on my window, because I lose track of stuff very quickly. I like to keep stuff in my mind, but that's not always good, because I forget. Like,
I'm a task list person. I have to write it. If I write it out, it's gonna get done. If I don't write it out, it's not getting done. I promise you, it's not getting done.
I'm not no task list type person.
Marlon has a photographic memory.
So I definitely have to work on that. But before we wrap it up, what's been your best memory or your funniest memory?
I think.
Matter of fact, no, I go for it.
Go for it. Go ahead.
I go for it. I think so far, my two funniest memories, I got two. It's definitely when Ma came. Ma came to stay with us. And 3 a.m. the fire alarm went off.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
Bro, we had to evacuate the building. I was so hot. Y'all know how I get.
That alarm was loud.
I had work the next morning. How long did we sit out there?
Bro, we was out there for like 40.
And it was brick.
Cold as mess outside.
It's 3 a.m. It's brick outside. We in the city. Like.
And we weren't smart enough to grab no car keys, no nothing.
Bro, we're sitting outside this building, bro. We had to wait for the firemen to come. Like, that was the most, like... It's funny looking back on it, but in the moment it was not funny at all. Like, it definitely was not funny. That's one of the funniest. And then second was definitely for me, it was getting my car towed.
Man,
me saying I don't think I'm as responsible as I really am. I never put my decals on my car, so I was parking in the garage, which I paid for before anybody said anything.
Yeah, we paid for the garage.
I paid to park there. I never put the decals on the car. So they have been sending messages out like, we're gonna start towing, and I'm like, I'm just reading it like I paid. Y'all tripping. The next day, I dropped my car off on Wednesday. This is before the BCI conference on Thursday. I go downstairs. I knew I had left something in my car, and I remember exactly where I parked. I come out the garage. I'm like, I know I ain't tweaking. I ain't tired. I ain't none of that. Like, I'm like, I parked right here. So I walk around the garage. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm tripping. I had a long day at work. Don't see my car anywhere. So my dumb self goes and walks around the whole block. I walk around the whole perimeter of the premises. I'm like, maybe my car, somebody moved my car to the outside.
Yeah.
Why would somebody do that? Like, I'm just making stuff up. So I walk around, car's gone. So I had to call the tow truck. Them jokers charged me $500 to get my whip. Y'all might as well keep the car. Just keep it at this point. I was so pissed. I went to that towing company, and I ain't gonna lie, I had to walk away because I almost lost my salvation about that. Like, I ain't gonna lie, because they called me on the phone, it was like, it's gonna be $200, but I had went to Atlanta. So when I got back from Atlanta, they was like, oh yeah, we didn't tell you that for the days that it's here, we charge you. I'm like, bro, I was out of town, I couldn't get the car. They was like, well, it's gonna be $500. I'm like, so that was, for me, looking back, it was a funny moment because it was so hot that day. It was like 90 degrees outside, and I'm out there just waiting for my whip. But it's not. It really wasn't funny.
And mind y'all, I was blown for him because he had called me out my nap. I'm trying to go to sleep. He told me, so yo, car not here. I'm like, huh? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I was hot.
I thought he lost the car. I'm like, how you figure where you parked that? Like, I'm like,
somebody stole it.
Like, but what are you talking about?
Yeah, the tow truck, they
wait, nah, I'm not gonna lie. That was a money grab. I'm not gonna lie.
It definitely was a money grab. Yeah.
My funniest moment is more like a welcome to Norfolk moment, because for me being me, you know what I'm saying, they have a lot of events out here in Norfolk, and with them having a lot of events and everything, sometimes they block off the parking on the street. Mm-hmm. So me being me, I was like, all right, cool, they blocked off all the parking. I'm not finna walk a mile to my apartment. It's hot outside, it's 1,000 degrees out here. I'm not gonna walk a mile, I'm sorry, because with our apartment, only one car can park in the parking garage per apartment. So cool, I'm on street parking. They had the whole block blocked off. I said, all right, bet. I pulled near the apartment doors, the closest to the door, there was a handicap spot open. Me being me, you know what I'm saying? I said, you know what? It's 9 o'clock at night. I'm gonna just park there and I'm gonna get my car at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
He's a criminal.
Mind y'all, I got in the car, I pulled my little limp, you know what I'm saying? Get back in the crib. And I was like, I should be fine to park here because the meters don't cut on until 9:30 in the morning. So I said, as long as I get out here before the meters cut on, I shouldn't have a ticket on my car on the handicap spot. I said, cool. So I wake up 2 hours before the meters cut on. I said, all right, I'm gonna go down there at 7 o'clock in the morning, make sure my car's getting everything, move my car out the way. I come downstairs, 7 o'clock in the morning, ticket on my car. I said, oh my gosh.
How much was it?
I opened it up, timestamp, 4:50 a.m.
Oh, they were starving. I'm talking about starving. They had
4:50 a.m.
Starving. Why are you out here?
Why are you giving a ticket at 4:50 a.m.? You're bored.
Yeah, you definitely.
No, you're bored. Like, there's no way. I said, there's no way I'm getting a ticket at 4:50 a.m.
You went to go check the handicap spot. Like,
I went to go check at 7 a.m. before the meters even cut on, because there was meters behind the handicap spot. I'm like, but they don't cut on until 9:30. That's when they start checking the actual park spots. So I should be a lot. Yeah. True. Karen, that thing said 4:50 a.m., $500 fine.
Whoa.
I'll never park a handicap again in my life. You're bugging.
That'll teach you.
No, that humbled me. Welcome to Norfolk.
Glad you live.
Welcome to the city. They got me. That was my funniest moment. And then my other funniest moment was, it was not really a funny moment. I might not understand it, but Marlon doesn't really like physical touch. So I'd be like, yo, Marlon. Like, yo, like, can I come in the room? Like, yeah. Before I go to bed, I'd be like, yo, I love you. Give me a hug, brother. He like, bro, move, bro. That thing is hilarious to me because Marlon J be like, bro, don't touch me. He like, don't touch me, bro.
I just finished a full workout. And he trying to hug me. I'm like, bro, I'm sweaty. Move. Like, unless you want to smell me, bro, move. Like, he won't full out hugs. I'm like, bro.
He like, bro, don't touch me, bro. I be like, bro, come here, bro. Just bring it in, bro. Come on.
Come on, bro, move.
Bro, come on, bro.
That's what I'm talking about.
Bro, love your brother, bro. Come on. Like, love your boy. But like, bro, that be me and Marlon hugging and everything. That'd be funny to me because it really just be trying to show my brotherly love to Marlon, but also knowing that Marlon don't like hugs. He be like, bro, what are you doing? Like move. But it be my way of trying to show Marlon love and everything because if I don't say it enough, I want to just show him at least by being worse than me, you know what I'm saying? Our way of showing love to each other is really being worse. I'm not like Marlon will literally come in the room and just start doing stuff like start trolling like for no reason. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like you're chatting.
I'd be yapping. I definitely would be yapping, but that's okay.
But nah, that's really our way of showing love and everything. But I think that was a dope first conversation for we touched on a lot for the first conversation.
Yeah, we definitely did. Let us know if we should get a dog. We've been contemplating.
We want a dog.
We do want one. We really want one.
We want a dog
bad. We talked about it for a little minute, but we want to make sure like it's the right circumstance. because we bring a dog in here. We're gonna take care of that dog
For sure.
And we gonna make sure it's the best circumstance for that.
Our dog gonna be tough. I'm not gonna lie to you. Our dog gonna be trained too. We don't play that. We don't play that untrained stuff.
We don't play that. We don't do untrained dogs.
We don't do untrained.
Yeah. Our dog gonna know how to sit. Like, you sit right there in that corner.
And that dog gonna be chilling. Yeah.
You are
vibing. He gonna be vibing. But nah, that's a dope episode, my boy. Let us know if y'all want more of these balcony conversations, balcony talks. Give us a name if y'all think that name is too basic. You know what I'm saying? Let us know what y'all think.
Yeah.
But I believe that was something we can do more of.
Yeah.
Just being transparent, see where our heads is at. And I learned a lot about you, my boy. Just from the conversation and everything. So I'm loving it already. I believe the Holy Spirit will continue to allow us to get more revelations and new understanding of each other as we grow as brothers as well. Just for where we're going in the future.
Definitely.
And for those that's new here, you know what I'm saying, we have a Bible study group chat, a community of the More Purpose family that's on Discord now, so link will be in the Bible for that. I said Bible. Link will be in the bio for that. And for those that don't follow us already on social media, on More Purpose Pod on all platforms, or More Purpose Podcast.
Follow us on TikTok too. I know y'all
as well.
Videos. We're trying to run it up on TikTok. Follow me on TikTok at marlinsellers.8. Well, it might be Marlins 8. You'll find it.
And follow me on TikTok at Clarence Lee _, and that's our TikTok. And yeah, we're trying to be consistent. We're trying to get back to locked in of like posting every single day. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see how that journey goes. We're trying to take over these next 6 months. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. We're trying to lock in. And since we have so much free time, there's really no excuse of why we haven't been posting. But we're trying to dial in and really hone in on everything we need to hone in on. So hope y'all be on the lookout. Cut the post notifications on. And as always, it's always more purpose. You just have to find yours. We love y'all. Y'all be safe. Love. Keep God in your life.
So my boy.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That was crispy.
Hello.
Got yourself.